Now I know what you're thinking, Mr. Hinton. This isn't the best quality example I can give you. You're probably thinking, why didn't you just write a paper? Well, I want to show you what this means to me. It's my dream. Now, maybe a joke of a dream, but it really is my dream. And the dream isn't necessarily to make a food truck, but that is my business. I want to be in the food business. To me, I feel like I'm an entertainer. I feel like that I can do anything I put my mind to. And I know that's a normal saying for most entrepreneurs, but I really think I can do it. The name's catchy, and if we get this spray painted on, even though it's pictures from the internet, it'll look good. Now, the specific business is food truck. Yes, there's competition. Yes, there's other food trucks, but I think mine will excel. Mainly because of the catchy name, the creative nature of the way I want to prepare my food. The way I want to do it will revolutionize orders forever. See, when I make the burritos, I'm going to leave it open. So let's say all you wanted was rice, beans, and meat and cheese in there. Well, that's all you have in there. And then the sauces, well, that's up to you. And if you don't want any sauces, which will be on a separate table right next to the food truck, so where you can put as much as you want on, if it's not to your liking, you can just hand it back and I'll wrap it up for you. Simple, right? It's the same way everybody thought fast food wouldn't work. I believe this will work just like McDonald's did. And how I differentiate it? Well, like I said, I wanted this to be something you can joke about. Maybe make a couple of memes out of it. See, you don't see memes out of most other food trucks. And if they do, they're not going to be as good as mine. Now, I know what you're thinking. You sound really arrogant right now. Well, you know what? I've been exposed to memes since I was about 8 years old, when the first Grumpy Cat came out. And I didn't think that was very funny. Well, Diabetes Burritos is a place where you embrace your flaws. See, the two people that are be running it, me and Elijah Price, we have type 1 diabetes. And we make jokes to each other all the time, and some people look at us as if we were weird. Well, this will be the answer to all of that. This will be the place where everybody comes together. And that's how it'll differentiate. Of course, there's certain regulations. I can't leave the food out of the sun, I need a health card, and I need to make sure we don't run a sweatshop, things like that. Well, of course there's regulations I need to consider. I also need to consider that I can't keep my van with the food in a warehouse unchecked. I have to buy new food every day. I've watched Kitchen Nightmares enough times to know what I need to do about food. That's a joke. That's a joke. Now, before you get all, hey, you can't do that, you can't skip corners, that was just a joke. And I don't mean to sound patronizing. It was supposed to be kind of a funny thing. Yeah, you probably don't want to hear me talking about the same thing. Well, we'll move to your next subject, labor. I will need land for the warehouse, but I don't need to buy land because there's a warehouse shop 2 miles from my house. So I don't necessarily need to buy land anywhere. I can just go there and rent out a space. Again, I'll build it out of my house and that storage space. My plan is to get a 1980s Chevy van. While I was in there moving something to Goodwill, I forget if it was a bed or a couple of chairs, it fit really well. And I believe that if I can fit a couple grills in there, leave all three doors that aren't the driver or passenger seat open, smoke will billow out, but I'll be able to hand people their food. It'll be a good business. Or I'll get one of those food trucks, but for right now it'll be a van because I want to put this stuff in the van and put this stuff in my car. We take 2 cars, bring the grills out, grill it for people, and then put it back away. Because I don't have enough money for a food truck. I can't afford its gas or anything like that. And that van is already just like my car in gas mileage. How will I get my product to the market? Well, like I said, it is a food truck. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just drive over there, with the food, bring the grills out, bada bing, bada boom, there's your food. Will I need a skilled workforce? Well, that depends. I almost wanted it to work almost like the assembly line, where I would get the tortilla, grill it, Eli would get the meat, grill it, we mix it up, put it together, get the beans cooked, And I have a recipe for my grandma's beans, and we'll have about 50 pounds worth for every day. Um, so not necessarily a skilled workforce, but well, yes, actually yes, we'll need a skilled workforce. We both need to take the classes for the Southern Nevada Health Department. We both need to take classes on how to make burritos and any type of Spanish food, or just learn at home. So yes, you will need a specific type of skill. Um, I just need, like I listed before, you just need to be able to cook, anything really. Um, yeah, you need to be able to cook any type of burrito, be able to wrap it up. You know, I have trouble with folding, so I'll have to practice a couple times, but after the first few, I believe I'll do good. I can train them on the job, of course. If it ever becomes me more than just me and Eli, I can train them on the job, or he can train them on the job. It really doesn't matter, but the training will come from the job. You do not need any sort of degrees. I'm a firm believer that everyone deserves a second chance. Now, I'm not saying that I'll hire prisoners right after they get out, but if they can't find a job, then of course I'll help them, or homeless veterans, or anybody that really needs a job. I would love people to work for me. That means more money coming in for me because more things are going out. Again, all they do have to do is fill out the few requirements, get trained on the job. You know, simple. Going back to earlier, labor costs. As long as it's under 5 employees, I was thinking whatever we made for the day gets split amongst us, including tips. I believe that I shouldn't make any more than my employees unless I need to go up into management instead of cooking. What else is there? I know it sounds like socialism, but I believe if it's under 5 people, socialism would work. Otherwise, capitalism for the win. Labor costs, like I said, whatever we make for the day. If not, then I will pay minimum wage unless we start making a lot more money. Unlike my previous employer, you know, I would rather pay upwards of $10 rather than $8.25, but I can't really beg and choose at the same time. What kind of benefits? Well, I'll try to provide dental and healthcare, basically whatever I can afford to give. I like the way Andrew Carnegie ran his company. You know, he made all the money and then he tried to give it away. Well, instead of giving it away just public libraries and stuff, I want to give it away to my workers, as a thank you. Vacation time. If you come up to me at least a week in advance and tell me you need to go somewhere, then yeah. If it's your honeymoon, of course. But if you just spontaneously say, hey, I'm calling in sick and don't show up for the next 3 weeks, yeah, that's not okay with me. How will I promote gender diversity? Well, there's not really much gender diversity. It's kind of a sausage party because it's me and Eli. If a woman does want to join our workforce or any other gender, I guess I would hire them as long as they complete. I really don't feel like there's any discussion there. Of course I will permit labor unions. My grandma runs the culinary union in the Strip, so I kind of have to be friendly with them by obligation. I want to think of it as kind of like a horizontal business structure where I will be at the same level as my employees, except I will technically be their boss. I can still hire and fire, but I really want to hear what they think. If they think the company is doing something wrong, I want to hear about it. I want to know, because maybe I will put it in practice. Capital, how will I get the money? Right now I have $1,500 in savings, and I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but my parents are already supporting me with the car with $200 every month for gas. Now the way I figure it is if I do enough jobs with the one car, you know, put everything in the back, which I can. There's enough trunk space and in the back seat. I believe that I can make enough to where I can get that van and still sustain my business. Of course, this won't be during the school week because I still have to focus on studies. if I can, I would like to avoid borrowing money from the bank. If I need to, I'd rather follow the 20-10 rule, which is no more than 20% of my yearly income and no more than 10% of my monthly income going to that. I want to see how much I make based off my mom, my parents, friends, my friends and family before I even think about going into the bank. How much? Like I said, I have my parents and they will invest in me even if it sucks. You know, I love them, they love me. It will leave a little bit of an environmental footprint, although not as much as some big industrial companies. I will not dump anything into the river. I will make everybody do the right thing and throw it out in the trash. Now, if it's biodegradable, I'm not going to just litter, but if it's I want to start a compost. It won't be in the business, but it'll be at my house, and I'll deliver it to the dump or the recycle place every other week. The machines are just the cars and the grills. The grills will get as we make more and more money. Right now we have 2 working ones, although they're old. We'll just have to clean them off, start there. Uniforms. I just believe that you should wear a white apron, and that's about it. As long as there's no drug promoting or anything bad on your shirt that isn't covered by the apron, then I don't really care. Will I try to incorporate? No, I don't want to become a corporation. I'd rather be a local kind of thing. People want to come and see me. You know, not really I already told you I'd mitigate it. No, I do not think that we will be corporately responsible. However, if someone does get injured and they want to sue me personally, that's fine. But I just want it on the record that I will be making the same amount of money, so I can't really pay anything. And I want to be a captain of industry. I really hope I don't ever have to resort to taking people's tips or taking part of their salary and paying them minimum wage when I can't afford to pay more. Unless it is going back into the company, it's going straight to my employees. Alright, thank you. I'll write a paper just in case you don't like this video, and I'll submit it as well. I apologize for taking too much of your time.